Hi everyone. So as I mentioned in my last video, I introduced the concept of what inequality signs are, and now we're going to be working on solving them using unique learning system and this page right here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be reading the problem and then I'll solve it and explain it as I go along. So if you notice right here, we have this sign. And let me make my circle a little bit smaller. And then we have N right here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So Ryan stacked less than 6 chairs in the music room. And that says that right here. And then down here, next to N, it says use N as the variable to represent the number of chairs Ryan stacked in the music room. And basically what a variable is it basically is just a letter that we can use to use as a placeholder until we're able to solve for N. So in this case, we can just use N as an abbreviation for number, because number starts with N, and we're basically trying to find this number. So instead of writing out the word number, we're just going to use the letter N. So again, Ryan stacked less than 6 chairs in the music room. Use N as the variable to represent the number of chairs Ryan stacked in the music room. So our first step right here is to write the inequality. So N, use N as the variable. So for N, we're just going to put N. And then this sign right here, remember in my last video, whichever way the open mouth is facing, ooh, that's really hard to see. Whichever way the open mouth is facing, that is saying that that number is going to be greater. So in this case, Ryan stacked less than 6 chairs in the music room. So we want to use, or we want to write the number 6 right here. And the way that we would read this equation is N, or the number that we don't know what the number is yet. The number N is less than 6. So we have that so far. Now, down here, it says graph the inequality on the number line. Put a red ray with open point on the number that N must be less than. So I'm going to zoom in right here. Notice that the number has to be less than 6. So I am going to zoom in, and it said, let me just make sure, put a red ray with open point on the number that N must be less than. So right here, the number 6, I've got red. And since it's got to be less than, over here, 7 would be greater than 6, which means that we need to go this way with it. So you can make your arrow as long as you want. I am basically going to just kind of go like this until I run out of room on my screen. But that is when it says put a red ray with an open point on the number that N must be less than. That's what it's talking about. So you can see that right here that I have my open point, which is basically an open circle on the number 6, and then I have my arrow pointing to the left because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, all those numbers are less than 6. So let's come down here now, and I think we're going to find out what number N is going to be. Let's see. It says, and again, let me draw a little arrow so you can see where I'm at. We are right here now. Danielle guesses that Ryan stacked 2 chairs. Mary Beth guesses that Ryan stacked 7 chairs. Who is correct? So, notice that right here it says Danielle's guess. Danielle guesses that Ryan stacked 2 chairs. So now we have a number for n. So Danielle is saying that Ryan stacked 2 chairs. And then remember that we are talking about less than by looking at this sign up here. So we want to keep that consistent. So 2 is less than, and what do we say? 6, because, again, this is the number that we are looking at right here, 6. So I'm going to write 6 right here, because that is Ryan's guess. Or that is, yeah, that's how it says Ryan stacked less than 6 chairs. So we want to keep that consistent. Now, if we come over here, Mary Beth, so again, we're looking at Mary Beth right here. Mary Beth guesses that Ryan stacked 7 chairs. So let's come over here to Mary Beth's guess now. So Mary Beth guessed 7 chairs. And again, we're using the same sign all the way through, less than, and then 6, because Ryan stacked less than 6 chairs. So now if we look at these two, I ask myself, is 2 less than 6? Yes, 2 is less than 6. So I'm just, you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to put a little smiley face. Yes, that makes sense. Let me go over to Mary Beth's guess. And Mary Beth is saying 7 is less than 6. So if we go up here and look at our number line, here's 6. Less than, remember, would be going this way. But Mary Beth is saying that 7 is less than 6, which is not correct. In this case, 7 is greater than 6. So Mary Beth's guess would be incorrect. So I'm going to go ahead and, just so I remember, I'm going to put a little sad face. Poor Mary Beth. Okay. Now, stick with me, and I am down here now. It says graph both guesses on the number line. Graph Danielle's guess with a blue point. Graph Mary Beth's guess with a green point. So Danielle's guess, remember, was 2. So let me grab a blue, and I'm going to make my dot a little bit thicker. Okay, so this is Danielle. And then it says graph Mary Beth's guess with a green point. Oh, wow, that was convenient because I kind of already did that. Okay, so right here, this is Mary Beth's guess. So now if we look at our number line, I guess I got a little bit ahead of myself here. But if we look at our number line, we have the number, sorry, I got arrows going everywhere. Let me erase some of this stuff real quick. So right here, we have 6, we have 7, and we have 2. If we look right here at this red ray, remember that's right here, we can see that this 2 falls where this arrow is pointing. However, this 7 over here that is not going the right direction. So, because again, 7 is greater than 6. So, which point falls on the red line? Right here. This is the red line. And if this arrow basically means if we were to keep going, we would run into this blue dot. And the blue dot is Danielle. So, let me make my point smaller so I can write. So Danielle is correct because what was her number? 2 is less than 6. So I know that this looks kind of crazy. I tried to have you guys know where I was at all times here, but that is how you would solve that kind of problem. So I hope that this was helpful. I hope it helps you solve problems involving inequality signs using unique learning system curriculum. And yeah, so I will see you guys all in the next one that I make. If you guys have any questions, if you guys want me to do any sample lessons of any other concepts, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks, guys. Hey everyone, so today we're going to be talking about inequality signs. And inequalities are basically a big fancy way for talking about numbers that are less than another number and numbers that are greater than another number. So you've probably seen these signs before and you're probably familiar with them. But just as a reminder, they kind of look like alligator mouths. So we have that sign right there. And then we have that sign right there. So this one right here, if you look at this end right here, pay attention to that right there. And then notice how the mouth is opening up on this end. This is the less than sign. Now, if we look over here at the other sign, notice how this end is over here, and then the mouth of it is opened up over here. This one would be greater, or would be the, let's see how small I can write this. Greater than. That would be the greater than sign. So let me give you an example. Starting over here with this first one, we can go 3 is less than 5. Because right here we have 1, 2, 3, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here. So we can clearly see that there are more dots on this side. So that way we know that 3 is less than 5. Let me go ahead and do another one. Let me erase this really quick. Another thing that you might have learned about these signs already if you've been previously taught them is referring to the inequality signs as alligator mouths. So if you imagine that the alligator mouths have teeth, apparently this one has a lot of plaque. I forgot to change the color. But yeah, if they have teeth, I mean, honestly, alligators probably do have yellow teeth. It's all good. Okay, so the bigger end right here is open. So this one will always be eating the bigger number. So to go the other way with it, let's go 5 is greater than 3. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3. And then our plaque-filled alligator mouth, notice how it's open, so it's eating, it would be eating this number 5 right here. So that way we know that 5 is greater than 3. So hopefully this makes sense to you guys. Just remembering the two different signs, the less than sign and the greater than sign. And just remembering it that way. Another thing that I want to touch on real quick before I wrap this up is sometimes the numbers will be the exact same. And when that happens, well, let me just show you. So we have, if we had the number 5 and the number 5, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can see that right here, this is the same amount. So one number is not greater than the other number. One number is not less than the other number. In this particular case, we would just put an equal sign because they're equal. 5 equals 5. So, like I said, hopefully that makes sense, you guys. And I hope that this little review of inequalities was helpful and just a good reminder of how everything works. In the next video, I will show you guys how to solve problems involving the inequality signs.